you got it bad. When you're swinging low and your feet just can't touch the ground. You got it bad. When you're swinging so low, but you know that your feet can't hit the ground. Ooh, you got it bad when you're swinging so low and your feet hit the people's head. That's a no. I don't think I can keep going anymore. That's the best I can do, bro. I did it so good, I changed shirts and you didn't even notice. Goofball! Alright, if you're new, go ahead and subscribe. I'm sorry for singing that terribly, but I honestly had to get it out because a lot of people really want this fucking feature. And honestly, I understand, right? It's a really cool feature to have in a Spider-Man game. Being able to walk on the ground while you're web swinging. Like, that's so freaking awesome. But there's a lot of freaking issues that run in there. And you know what? I'm going to go ahead and detail them now. Everybody wants to take those older games as an example. Like, oh my god, Web of Shadows was able to do this. And in Ultimate Spider-Man, I think Ultimate Spider-Man was able to do this. Well, guess what? You know what? I played Web of Shadows for the last, I would say, like 2-3 weeks. I fucking got that damn shit back the beginning of September. And honestly, let's just be real here. The population density of both the civilians and the traffic of the cars is so fucking low. And the fucking roads are like 3 times bigger than Marvel Spider-Man 2. So the problem with the web swing ground walking thing being in the Marvel Spider-Man 2 is that there's so much cars, so much civilians, it just really wouldn't work. It just doesn't really make sense. It was a fun feature to play in Web of Shadows too. Another thing that I think a lot of people are missing is that, like, you barely even really walk on the ground in Web of Shadows too. And I get maybe for the other games you get to do that, but for the most part you do it for like 2 or 3 seconds. And it's really only used to do a web swing kick. So realistically, like, they would have to rework everything. The entire system has to be reworked in order to do that. And I'm not a game developer, but that sounds like fucking like a nightmare. That sounds horrible to do, honestly. Trying to make Spider-Man swing in between cars. I've had people tell me that they want them to swing in between civilians and like high five them while they're going by. Like, do you know how much of a technical fucking nightmare that would be for a game developer? I think a lot of people have a fundamental misunderstanding of what game developing is. And it leads them to believe it's so easy that they can do shit like that. Like, I'm pretty sure Insomniac has already tried to make this feature work. And a lot of people, a lot of Chronically Online Twitter people will rant and rave about it not being in the game, but at the same time completely ignore why it's not. And that's mainly because of the ground not being accessible while you're swinging. It would not work. Maybe for like a split second where there is no traffic, where there are no cars, but then like it throws into that whole can of worms of like, why can't you do it in between cars and stuff like that? Like, there's a bunch of glitches and I can see the nightmare. I could already see the nightmare. Nightmare. You know, I'm glad they got the loop-de-loops. That makes sense, right? I mean, being able to do that in the air or even like close to the ground and then looping and flying up, like, oh my god. It's gonna be so much fun. I can understand even the fall damage, turning on and off the fall damage. You know what I really hope they have? Is if they go fast enough and you like splat on a wall. That would be so good. Honestly, there's a lot more that they can do. And these small little features that they added, these quality of life changes are so beneficial for, of course, all of us. Like, we're all going to enjoy these features, whether we use them or not. I think most people are going to use the fall damage feature, even though it is optional. Another thing with this, too, is they could have a feature like that, where for, of course, the NPCs and the cars, they get rid of those cars and NPCs, and then you're able to get lower to the ground, or at least they limit how much there actually is. I know there already is like kind of a feature on PC and stuff like that to do that. I'm sorry, for the first game, but for consoles and stuff like that, I don't know. It feels like there's so much work that would need to be done in order to do that. And I already feel like the changes that they gave us within this game already, from what we've seen, the web wings, the faster web swinging, the loop-de-loops, the tether too. I forgot about the tether, where you can go ahead and like fly and then literally zip around a corner by just pushing circle and then holding the position you want to go, and you can literally go right like the Amazing Spider. Oh my god. Look, there's so much that they've already put into this game. You know, I don't see what else really needs to be in this game. And I understand people want the running on the ground. I understand that completely, but for this game, for this universe, it just doesn't work. For this franchise, what they're forming from this web swinging, it just doesn't work. And I think what they have in store for us for going into this next game is going to be just absolutely amazing. Again, you have the loop-de-loops, you have the tether, you have all these new things, and I can't see it being any, you know, worse than what people would claim the first game is. Because there's a lot of people that hate that first game swinging. I mean, like, literally, they will swear on their moms and literally just say that this shit is like the most god-awful web swinging, even worse than Amazing Spider-Man. I'm like, god damn, really? All right, so either way, I really think that this game is going to be phenomenal. Like, the web swinging looks just absolutely stunning, and I already loved the first two games too. So combination of both of those, plus the speed increase, everything that they've given us so far that we've heard from the demos and the hands-on impression sounds incredible. I want to know what your guys' thoughts in the comments below are. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in my next one. Peace out.